Hello, welcome back to The Black Knitter. I'm Liz, The Black Knitter, and this is my podcast about knitting and other things that I like to share. It's been a while. I think the last time I posted was in June, probably right before Juneteenth. But I'm on vacation this week, so I wanted to take some time to give you all some important information about some fun things that are coming up. So buckle up. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so glad that you are here, and I hope that you will come back again. And if you've been here before and you came back, I thank you so much for continuing to support this podcast. If you like what you see and hear, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because that helps us get this podcast out to other folks who might want to see it. So let's get started. So yes, it's been a while. So the first thing I like to do is give you some news. Habari Gani, what's happening? So a lot's been going on. I'm looking at my notes. Before I get started, I should say that this is a space of beloved community, where we center love of humanity, where everybody can feel like they belong. That being said, you can't have beloved community without love of justice and restoration. It includes accountability. So it's not all rainbows and light here. I try to keep it real. And sometimes I talk about things that have people a little up in their feelings. And that's okay. And you're welcome to share your thoughts and feelings in the comments, but keep it respectful. Because again, this is a place of beloved community. And that means that we pay a lot of attention to what we say and how we say it, because we want to engage with each other in love. Love is the most important thing. But you might find some of the things I have to say difficult to hear. And that's part of the growth process. So I would invite you to lean into those feelings of discomfort, and challenge you to take a look at some of the resources that I point you to, or open your Bible to where I point you to help you move through that discomfort in a way that's constructive and that allows you to grow in love. Amen. All right. For those of you who don't know me, I am a PhD trained sociologist who studies race. I come from that perspective as a social scientist, but I'm also a certified lay minister in the United Methodist Church. So my faith shapes everything that I say and do and share on this podcast. So all that being said, let's hop into the things that I have been doing. Just so you know, my husband works from home. His office is right above mine. So you might hear him in a call or moving around, because you can just hear a lot in our house. So apologize if you hear any background noise. And both of our little dogs, we have two Yorkies, Corbin and Jet. They're running in and out. So I might stop at some point and pick one of them up if they choose to grace us with their presence. So Habari Gani, what's been going on? First, I want to start off by thanking those of you who follow me on Instagram and shared my daughter's GoFundMe for her dog Hallie, and also for those of you who were able to donate. Excuse me. She was able to, through the GoFundMe and the generosity of Hallie's breeders, she was able to cover Hallie's surgery. All of the vet bills were about $12,000. Hallie is an Afghan hound. My daughter actually has two of them. I'll try to remember to pop in a picture here of Hallie and her other Afghan hound, Atreyu, male and female. But she's had Hallie the longest. Hallie is her emotional support animal, and it's just really important to her mental health. She's getting a little older. She's considered a senior now. Afghans are a large breed dog, so they have shorter lifespans. But we found out that Hallie has a pretty rare condition called bullous emphysema that resulted in a pneumothorax. So that's a hole in the lung. And they ended up having to go in to repair that hole surgically, but they also removed part of her lung because of this condition, which, if you don't know, creates air pockets in the tissue of the lungs, and those air pockets create these weak spots. And so what happened is one of those weak spots burst. One of those bubbles burst, and that created the hole in her lung. So they removed part of her lung because there was a part of her lung that had a number of those air pockets or bubbles, and they wanted to minimize the chances that she's going to have issues in the future. So it was a major surgery. She's been on 8 weeks of crate rest, but she has an appointment, I think next week, a follow-up appointment with the vet just to see how she's doing and see if she'll be able to do a little more activity. Keeping a sight hound on crate rest for 8 weeks is a challenge. But again, I sincerely appreciate those of you who shared that post. Those of you who were able to donate, I appreciate you so much. And I would ask that you continue to hold Hallie and my daughter in your prayers. I believe in the power of prayer. And so I would appreciate you keeping them in your prayers as they continue to deal with her condition and all the follow-up that's required. So thank you. My mother is doing well. She is actually in California right now. She just got done. Actually, my sister sent me a bunch of pictures. They went to the Black Nurses Association conference, the national conference. It was in San Francisco. So they got to participate in that, and it looks like they had a really good time. So that's good. She'll be there for about another month, and then she'll be back here in Ohio. So again, I appreciate all of you who have been praying for her health, and it looks like she is just getting better. She did have some issues with recurrent ulcer, and so I think we have that straightened out. Now they've got her they've switched up some of her medication. So I hope that is resolved. But other than that, she's doing really good. So again, thank you for your prayers. I mentioned last time that we were going to be building a house, and we've been going through that process. We're actually closing this week. Once that happens, the next step is to pull all the permits and get some, utility survey stuff done. I'm hoping that in about another 4 weeks, we'll be able to break ground. So that's moving along. The situation with my dad's house is moving along. So I think it's all gonna work out just fine. So I'm excited about all of that. That means that I'm gonna have to start packing some stuff and purging some stuff, and my husband keeps telling me I need to start working on packing up my office. It's gonna be 6 months before we move. I've got time. But I do need to start purging, so I need to start working on that. I don't want to move a bunch of stuff that I'm really not using. So that's going to be my priority over the next few months. I think that's really it. The whole house thing has been taking a lot of time. So yeah, haven't been doing much else. Work is still work. It's busy. But classes for the fall will be starting soon, probably about 3 weeks from now. The fall semester starts pretty early this year, so getting ready for that as well. I'm going to be teaching an intro sociology course for some honors students this fall. So I'm really looking forward to that. I haven't taught a sociology course in a while because I'm mostly an administrator. But my friend is now the chair of the sociology department, and she was like, I really need you to do this, help me out. And I was like, happy to do it. So really looking forward to doing that this fall. So before I go any further, I'm gonna stop and grab some water. I've been having some issues with my throat because of some issues with acid reflux that I'm taking medication for now, but it's harder to talk for longer periods of time without getting really kind of hoarse. So I'll be back in a moment. All right, I'm back. I had to stop for a minute because my husband came down to get a snack. So in the meantime, Corbin came to see me. Hi, Corbin. Say hi to the people. I gave him a bath this morning, so he smells good and feels really good right now. I also trimmed his nails. He wasn't happy with me, but he tolerated it pretty well. Okay, buddy. You want to go back down and play? All right. So I was telling you that I was going to share some information about the Certified Instructor Program process when I am finished with that process. Happy to share that information and hope it will be helpful to some of you who might be considering it as an option. The other thing that I wanted to tell you that I forgot about was I need to announce a winner for the giveaway. I did announce a giveaway back in June, and all you had to do was to comment and say something about a fiber festival. And the winner is Must Hike, Must Eat. So reach out to me. I think your name is Shannon. Reach out to me via Instagram. I will also have my email address in the show notes below if you want to shoot me an email. And send me your contact information. I'll be more than happy to get that prize out to you. So thanks for participating in that. Before we get into this is kind of a little bit of a limu as well. So let's just start. A limu is the education portion of the podcast. So I have decided to do the Black History Make-Along that I host beginning August 1st. And it will end at the end of February when Black History Month ends. I decided to do that for two reasons. One is because 28 days is just not enough time for people to work on projects. It's a lot for me to manage in that short period of time. So that's one of the reasons. So I wanted to give people a longer period of time to work on projects, and also for us to just have the opportunity to build more community. We're going to start August 1st and go until the end of February. So August 1st to February 28th are the dates. I decided to start on August 1st because August is Black Business Month. It's a month where we recognize and draw attention to celebrate Black businesses. So it's a good time to begin to highlight Black yarn-related, knitting-related, crafting-related businesses. If you recall, this time last year, I was asked to write an article for Black Business Month that appeared in Interweave in the online magazine. And I will link that article below if you want to take a look. But that article actually shares some information about why it's important to have Black Business Month, why it's important that we highlight those businesses. And it also gives you some information about Black-owned yarn stores. There aren't that many in the US. At the time, I was only able to find 10 or so. And since then, I've discovered one or two additional ones. So I invite you to take a look at that article. And if you know of a Black-owned yarn shop that I haven't included in that article, please let me know. Either drop a comment below here or shoot me a DM on Instagram. I would love to highlight those businesses in the podcast and during the make-along. So definitely take a look at that article. But if you don't know, Black businesses have a much more difficult time getting financing, even when you take into account things like credit history and collateral. They're just much more likely to be turned down for loans to start those businesses. And they have a harder time getting the word out. A lot of Black businesses are sole proprietorships. That's kind of how a lot of Black indie dyers, designers work. So they're one-people shops, right? And so they really have to work hard to get their information in front of people. And I don't know if you know anything about bias in computing, but there's a lot of research that's been done recently about the fact that algorithms have biases built into them so that people of color in general, Black businesses in particular, don't get picked up by the algorithms in the same ways that other businesses do. So it's really important that we are intentional about our efforts to find and support Black and other businesses of color. If we want to support them, we really have to be intentional about it, because if you're just, searching for stuff or expecting that it's going to show up on your feed because you're a knitter, it's not going to happen. So this podcast is my way of being intentional about highlighting those businesses. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to do this podcast. The other reason I decided to do this podcast, because at the time that I started it, there were a lot of people talking about race in the making community, many of whom who were Black and brown creators, makers, who were sharing their experiences and getting a lot of pushback from people in the community who really didn't believe what they were hearing. And so I thought it was a good space for me to enter because of my experience as a sociologist who studies the very real impact of race in the lives of Black and brown people. So that's why we're here. So if you're not down for that message, you can exit now. It's okay. This isn't for everybody. I followed Jesus's advice when he sent the disciples out to share the good news with people. He said, share the good news, and if they don't want to hear it, shake the dust off your feet and keep it moving. I'm paraphrasing there, but that's basically what he said. So I know that this isn't something that everybody wants to hear. The other thing that I want to touch on related to Elumu, or education, is related to the election season that we are in. One of the reasons that I love being a United Methodist is because Methodism is all about faith in action. That's kind of one of the founding principles of our denomination. And it's really based on Matthew chapter 22, verses 34 through 40. It's a passage of scripture that a lot of people are familiar with. It's the scripture that talks about, the Pharisees and Sadducees were asking Jesus some questions. And one of those questions was, what is the greatest commandment? And Jesus was like, you know it, but I'll say it because I'm just going to play along here. And he says that the greatest commandment is to love God with all your heart, mind, and soul. But then he says, but there's a second commandment that's equally important, and that is to love your neighbor as yourself. Those two things together are what make the foundation of the Methodist denomination. John Wesley, the founder of Methodism, took that verse and came up with what he called 3 general rules for living the Christian life. He basically said that Christianity for him was love acted out. Isn't that cool? Love acted out. That's what being a Christian is all about. So centering love. One of his general rules, actually the first one, is to do no harm. That means in your speech, in your action, in your interactions, in all of the ways that you exist in this world, your goal should be to do no harm. Do no harm. So as you are thinking about who you're going to support in this election, I want you to think about doing no harm. And if there is a platform that is all about placing yourself at the center and excluding and putting down others, that's just not a platform that, as a Christian person, I can support. And so I would urge you to really consider that. I saw a sign the other day that really bothered me. It said, "The world needs Jesus." And the world does need Jesus. I will grant you that. But it also said, and America needs Trump. Like those things go together. And I'm sorry, but they don't. Number one, Trump is not a Christian person. He has said so himself. And the platform, the things that he is pushing, the things that the Republican Party is pushing, are not centered in love, are not centered in living a life like Jesus lived. So I want to encourage you to really examine what you are called. If you call yourself a Christian, if you call yourself a follower of Jesus, I really want you to take the time to examine your faith, to really study the Word, to really think about the obligations that you have as a person of faith to not center yourself, to be concerned about others, to be in community with others. And I challenge you to really think about where is that in the Republican platform, because I don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't see love there. I don't see community there. I don't see empathy with others there at all. So that's what I have to say about that. All right, so let's get into Kumba. I think that's what's next. Yes, what I've been working on. A lot of the things that I'm going to show you have seen before because I'm still working on the same things. But what I did want to do is bring out a whip that I actually started during the Black History Make-Along back in February that I have not finished. Because I have some other things that I have to get done because events are coming up. But for the Black History Make-Along, I had started the Groovy Genzer. This is a picture from the pattern by Shay Johnson, who's the model in the photo. But I love this pattern, and I'll show you where I am. I have it turned inside out. So this is an all over colorwork sweater. I am relatively new to colorwork, but I haven't split first sleeves yet. So got a long ways to go. But I think I've put most of the colors in now. This yarn is all from Joann's. I was just in there one day and they had a bunch of stuff on sale. And I thought, let me try this. One thing I am not is a yarn snob. There are folks who won't shop at Joann's because they don't think there's quality yarn there. But you know what? Some folks, Joann's is what they can afford. Okay? And when you catch a good sale at Joann's, you can get a skein of yarn for a couple dollars. So, you know, I will buy yarn from Joann's. I also support my local yarn shop, Harps and Thistles. I spend more money there than I do at Joann's. But I am not going to say that people shouldn't shop at Joann's because, again, that's what some people can afford. Yeah, just, you know, don't come at me for shopping at Joann's. But all of this yarn I got on sale. The brown, the main color, is some wool ease. And the color is natural brown. And then I just got some skeins of some other things that they had on sale. So this light green, the orange, the red, and the dark green. So all of these colors are Lion Brand's local grown brand of yarn or line of yarn. The orange is called Maple. This light green is Pine. The red is actually called Apple Pie. I don't know how that's apple pie. And then the dark green is Meadow. And then you can hardly see it, but I've added a blue. That's the 5th color, 6th color actually with the main color. The blue is Patons Classic Wool in navy. That looks more royal here on camera, but it really is a navy color. Actually, that's showing up pretty true to color now that I look at it. So yeah, I love these colors, how they all work together. And because it was all on sale, I'm gonna have a 100% wool sweater for less than 20 bucks. Because again, I got all of that yarn on sale. So that is going to be my project that I am focusing on for the Black History Make-Along, featuring that design by Shay Johnson. But I always have yarn or projects, project bags, stitch markers, all of those things that are by Black and brown makers, because I'm very intentional about my shopping. So you will be seeing that on my Instagram page, and it'll be what I'm working on mostly for the make along. The other things that I'm working on, most of them you have seen before. I am making a lot of good progress on the wrap for my niece's wedding. It's still in the same bag that my friend got me. And I am actually now on the other sleeve. This thing is very long. So you knit it flat. So I've got it, this is the sleeve where I started. And then it's a lot of knitting. 72 inches is what that section is. And so I am almost done with the second sleeve. And then I just need to sew up the sleeves and it'll be ready to go. I think I will block it. I don't think I really need to, but I will. But I'm really excited to give that to her. The yarn I'm using, I've talked about before. Let me see if I can find the labels. Sorry about the... So this is the mohair. 75%, 71% mohair, 20% silk, 5% metallicized polyester, because it's got a little sheen, a little shine, sparkle to it, and 4% polyamide. Sesia Pigelle, and the color, it's just a number 5151. And then the other yarn, because I'm holding them double, I don't have the label, but I have the, oh, I guess not. I thought I had the invoice, but I do not. If I find it, I will let you know, but this is the other color. And this is silk as well. So it's really got some nice sheen. It's very soft. So I think that'll be really nice for her to wear. It'll be like being wrapped in a cloud. So I hope that she really likes that. The other thing that you've seen before in this bag made by my friend's mom, the friend who I am making this sweater for. Her birthday is the beginning of September. I really hope I can get this done. As soon as I finish that wrap, this is going to be the thing that I focus my attention on so that I can get it done. So I don't quite remember where I was the last time I showed it to you, but I got the one side, the sleeves done. Well, the drop shoulder done. So this is a very oversized sweater. So now I'm working on the front sleeves or back sleeves. I think this is the back. So it's the same in the front and the back. So once I get that done, then it's just a matter of oh my goodness. Okay, I just realized that part of this yarn is like really faded. Can you see that? Yeah, you can, that is showing up. I don't know what happened there, but that is not cool. I might have to rip that back. My goodness. Wow. That is crazy. My goodness. Well, I'll have to deal with that when I get back to it, which will be soon. I'm not sure how that happened. But once I'm done with the sleeves, it's really just a matter of picking up the sleeves, finishing the sleeves, which won't be very much longer because the drop shoulder is so low. The drop shoulder actually comes down to the elbow. And then I'll add a turtleneck. I'll try to remember to put the picture in here to remind you of what it looks like. And just another commercial for Fatima Hines one-on-one sessions. Worth every penny, because she helped me figure this out. I'm a big fan of Fatima's. So definitely check that out if you want some one-on-one instruction from someone. I'm still working on those adventure socks. I haven't gotten any further on those. Yeah, that's where that is. If you don't follow Fatima, she's disturbing the fleece on Instagram. She posted a hat that she was doing a test knitter call for, and whenever she has a test, I try to participate. I love her patterns. I've knit a number of her hat patterns more than once. This one is really cool. So this is what it looks like so far. Pretty nice. It's got a cable pattern. It's a 1x1 cable pattern, and a more kind of traditional 2x2 cable pattern there. And it takes 2 colors of yarn, so I'm just using some yarn from Stash. It's a DK weight hat. It's kind of cool. So I'm gonna finish this, and I'm gonna start another one because this one has a couple of mistakes in it because reading is fundamental, and I was not reading the chart correctly. So I did make some mistakes. Some of you with an eagle eye might be able to see where those mistakes are. But it's really nice. It makes a really nice fabric because you knit it on a smaller gauge. So it gives you a really nice dense fabric. Feels really good. This yarn is some yarn that I got a while ago when I was in Charlotte. I got it from Charlotte Yarn, which is one of the Black-owned yarn shops that I highlight in that article in Interweave. This is a dyer by the name of Native Fibers. It's actually a First Nations person who does this dyeing. And I think this is the dark color. Yeah, this is the name of the dark color is Masquerade. So this darker color. And this one, I can't remember what the name is. I'll remember to include it in the show notes below. I have another skein of it over there. I don't want to get up to get it. This is actually in a bag that I ordered a Zuri dress. My dad gave me some money for my birthday. My birthday was back in March, and he gave me some money a couple weeks ago. It's fine. But I decided to order a Zuri dress because I've wanted one for a very long time. I'm gonna pop a picture of myself in it here. But I ordered the one that used a print that was designed by Tammy, who is Tammy of Yarn and Whiskey. I've talked about Tammy's work before on this podcast. She is a project bag maker, but her bags can be used as purses. So I have one that's like a crossbody bag that I love. She uses a lot of African fabrics, which I love. And I have several of her project bags. So check her out. They come in lots of different sizes. But she just finished a master's program, I think in textiles. But now she's getting her work out there. So there's actually a fabric store who bought some of her prints that I have saved. I'll try to remember to drop the website link below. But she had some fabrics, I think, that were related to Juneteenth that I want to invest in. So yeah, check out Tammy Yarn and Whiskey. She will be linked below as well. The other thing that I've been working on is the Stephen West mystery sock knit along that's been happening. So I've been working on the color Popportunity socks that he's been doing. And you know, Stephen West is kind of out there with his designs. But you know, I love a good mystery. So I'll show you where I'm at. I'm behind. I knew I wasn't going to keep up. So this is where I'm at so far. This was clue 1 and 2, the actual leg, and then the cuff and the heel were clue 1. Now I don't remember. I think the leg was clue 1. This heel was clue 2. This is the top of the foot is clue 3. And clue 4 was released today. I watched the video, but like I said, I'm behind, and that's fine. I know I wasn't going to be able to keep up. But it's pretty funky, but interesting. And very interesting construction, because you're going to knit the whole top of the foot, and then this week's clue, you're going to join it all together and knit the toe. So that's what I'm working on. And I've got a couple of different yarns. So this is like the main color I've been using. This is Lolabean Yarn Co. It's her mung bean base, and the name of this color is Café con Leche. So yeah, that's nice. Now this is a fingering weight yarn, but it doesn't have any nylon in it. It's not a sock yarn. So I'm actually gonna knit the bottom of the foot with my contrast color, which is this gradient. Isn't that nice? This is actually from Harps and Thistles. This is their yarn line, 1918 Yarn Co. And I'm trying to remember what the name of this, Taboo, I think is the name of this colorway, if I remember right. But really, really nice color. I'm not gonna have as much color on my socks, I don't think, because the length of each of the colors is pretty long, and so like I didn't get any color change for these parts, and it's just starting to get into the orange down here. So one thing that I did here was I knit this stripe from the outside of the cake to get the purple. And I think what I'll do is start with the purple for the bottom of the foot, and hopefully see some color change there. But it's fun. So, okay, and this is the yarn and whiskey bag. So again, check Tammy out. All right. Now I want to share with you just a couple of things. I haven't bought a whole lot because, like I said, I'm trying to, last time, I'll let you guys know I'm not trying to expand my stash because we're going to be moving. But I do have a couple of things that I want to share. I have been participating in a club that Terry at Haynes House Yarns has been doing, her and her family. It's called the Sing Club, S-I-N-G, Sing. And so they've been releasing a yarn every month that has a song title. And each member of the family has like chosen a song to dye. So I've got 6 months of colors here. I'm gonna show. Look at those. Aren't they pretty? I don't know if you can join the club still. I'll link their website below. But they have a lot of really nice colors. If you're in the DC, Baltimore area, Terry also has a yarn store, a yarn shop, which is very nice. And I've shared some footage from there on the podcast before, but really nice space. And she features yarn from a number of dyers of color. But these are just really nice. And I'll just show you what these are. This one is Leave the Door Open by Silk Sonic. That's really nice. This one is called Love by Keisha Cole. This one is called A House Is Not a Home, Luther Vandross. Anybody remember that song? That's a classic. Love that. Love that color. This one is Can You Stand the Rain by New Edition. Really nice. This one is Killing Me Softly by the Fugees. Roberta Flack was actually one of the first ones to do that song. She did it, and so did Carole King. My favorite version is the Roberta Flack version, but you know, the Fugees, they did a good job too. And then this one is called, this is the June color, End of the Road by Boys to Men. Very nice. So check them out at Haynes House. You won't be disappointed. Terry's husband Brian makes project bags that are very nice. and one of her children, whose name is escaping me right now. I apologize. But she has a business where she makes body butters and scrubs and body wash. Very, very nice. She has her own shop. I believe it's Queen Sheba on Instagram. I will link her below because her products are very, very nice. You can also get them in the yarn shop. She has them in stock there as well. The other thing I wanted to show you are a couple of colorways from my local yarn shop, Harps and Thistles, from their yarn line, 1918 Yarn Company. Both of these colorways are on the Fox sock base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And these were special colorways that Cindy, the owner there, did for a couple of events. One event was a local event called Christmas in July. They were doing in the city where the shop is. And so this colorway is in that theme. The name is Holiday Peace. That is really nice. I really love all the colors in there. It's got definitely got, Christmassy vibes as far as the red and the green, but also some candy cane kind of vibes too. Really, really talented dyer Cindy is. And then this colorway is called A Stitch in Time, and it is for the Heartland yarn adventure, which is happening the next couple of weeks. It's a multi-state yarn crawl, so a lot of shops in Ohio are participating. This is just really, really nice. All of the colorways that Cindy dyes on for 1918 are things that are related to the year 1918. And she named the company 1918 because the building that the shop is in is, it was built in 1918. So again, all of her colorways have something to do with that year or around that time. So pretty clever concept there. All right, I think that is it for now. One last thing. The make along for Black History will be taking place on Discord. Instagram makes it very difficult to find posts related to a hashtag now. They will only show you posts that get a certain number of likes. And so I had a very difficult time finding entries for the Black History Month make along this year. So for 2025, we're gonna move it to Discord. If you want to be added to the Discord, please email me or send me a message on Instagram so that I can send you a link to the Discord. It doesn't do any good for me to post it here because the link expires after a certain amount of time. So you have to reach out to me to get the link. That also helps me ensure that only people who really want to participate in Beloved Community have access to the Discord server. So it's pretty straightforward. It's not real fancy. But once you get in, you'll see there's like a space to do introductions. I've already created a space for sharing information about Black makers. There's a space to post pictures of finished objects. So I hope to see you over there. So again, reach out to me via email or via direct message on Instagram, and I will send you the link. Alrighty, see you next time. Bye.